Here's another podcast from the Pod Bros Network.
We are back with another episode of the Jean-Claude Van Damme Cast, the show that is currently reviewing films without Jean-Claude Van Damme being in them. And if you are with us, we are continuing our Timecop TV series, and this is episode 2. Jeff, how's it going, man?
It is going well. How are you?
Oh, living the dream. Just loving these non-Van Damme episodes that we do because we've found some real treasures actually in these.
Yeah.
And it is all thanks to Van Damme, really.
Yes. So many doors are open to us because of him and his teachings.
Yep, exactly. So this episode is entitled The Heist. It was released September 29th, 1997. Accompanied by a retired detective, Officer Logan travels to 1977 to solve the mystery of a failed diamond heist. And if you've been listening to the series with episode 1, remember how I was like, oh, hey, well, the good news is I'm not going to have to go through the cast on all the rest of them. But then Jeff was like, who are the detectives? Like, who plays the detective in this episode? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. So the young detective, John Langdon, was played by Josh Devane. And he does not even have an IMDb photo. He's only been in nine, which I'm going to have to basically name them all. Timecop was his last thing, and that's unfortunate.
His crowning achievement.
I hope he's not dead. Let's see if he's dead.
He got shot at the end of the episode.
Yeah, but he was...
Spoilers.
He was fine, though.
That's true.
He was
Maybe the version of him that was an actor got shot. And
maybe it's like The Crow.
The series or the
he was in Baywatch Nights as Davis Hollingsworth.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, man. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman as Agent Roberts, Frank James. Pacific Blue as Harvey Messing. Knots Landing, Blind Witness, The Preppy Murder as Young Reporter, 18 again as JP, and Time Stalkers as Frank.
He was in another time-traveling franchise of some sort?
Oh, yeah, man. Scott McKenzie, a history professor, becomes involved with 2 time travelers from the year 2586 after making a discovery in an old photograph from 1886. Why wasn't he in, Back to the Future as well, man?
Wow, that's wild, though.
It is, man.
I kind of want to watch this movie now.
I know, me too. It looked actually familiar from the still shots.
We could do a podcast that's all time travel movies because there's so many of those.
There's so many of them. You're right.
And I've seen most of them.
Timecast. What would you say?
That actually sounds pretty good.
William Devane. He played the old detective. Fucking A, man. 6 degrees of separation here, but not really. He was in that same television show Knots Landing as the young detective.
No shit.
Yep. I was like, I saw his face. And I'm like, oh wow. He has 125 credits to his name. He was in The Grinder, the television series with, what's his face? Rob Lowe.
Oh, okay.
He was in Jesse Stone, Lost in Paradise as Dr. Dix with,
it's a funny name.
Tom Selleck, the famous mustache.
Oh, yeah.
24, Live Another Day as President James Heller. Interstellar as Williams. Jesse Stone, Benefit of the Doubt, Dr. Dix. Revenge, Edward Grayson. The Dark Knight Rises as the President. Flag of My Father as Jake.
He was the president in The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Wow. That might have been where I'd seen him before.
Where you might, yeah. Jesse Stone, No Remorse as
Dr. Dix?
Dr. Dix, yes.
Yeah.
King of the Hill, Chuck Garrison, NCIS, Nicholas Mason. Okay, we're doing one episode. Psych. Chasing the Green. Jesse Stone, Thin Ice. Dr. Dix.
Yes, the return.
Yeah, man.
The quickening.
Stargate Continuum as President Hayes. He plays the president a lot.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't look presidential to me.
I know, right? 24 is James Heller.
I would just see him as a detective, and I figured that's what he got typecast
I know, right?
as. But
yeah,
no,
seriously.
he's typecast
as the
president. Yeah.
Jesse Stone, Sea Change as Dr. Dix.
Wow.
What About Brian as Michael Davis and Michael O'Hara for 6 episodes. Jesse Stone, Death in Paradise. All right, we got to do a fucking Jesse Stone.
What the hell's Jesse
Patreon
Stone,
exclusive. Tom Selleck, Jesse Stone, Hallmark Films.
Oh, my parents watched those. That's great.
Tom Selleck is definitely my parents watch, like actor.
Yeah,
like, that's
my parents watch
watching.
cast.
Yeah, my parents.
Today we got an episode of Jag.
Let's bring. Yeah, man, my parents, my grandparents. We got Matlock going on here.
Columbo.
Columbo. Columbcast. Oh man, Stargate SG-1 as President Henry Hayes.
Hell yeah.
Monty Walsh with Tom Selleck as Cal Brennan. He must be a big friend with Tom Selleck. The West Wing as Secretary of State Louis Berryhill.
Lots of high-ranking officials.
Man. Judging Amy, Richard McCarty. The Badge of the Judge. The X-Files, Jennifer Marks Sufag.
Another X-Files alumni.
Man. Hollow Man is Dr. Kramer.
The
2000 original
movie,
film.
Yeah. Wasn't that a series too?
I think so. Poor White Trash is Ron Lake. Space Cowboys is Eugene Davis. The Man Who Used to Be Me is Sam. Payback as Carter.
He was
Mel
in
Gibson.
Payback?
Yeah.
Did Payback just give up? Did Braveheart just give up?
Oh man, I can't believe he's in Knots Landing.
That's fantastic.
The same as the young guy. Touched by an Angel. Detonator 2 Night Watch as Nick Caldwell.
What's a sweet sounding movie?
I know, man. Falling from the Sky, Flight 174 is Captain Bob Pearson. Ooh, Lady in Waiting is Lieutenant Barrett. That looks like a Skinamax film.
Hell yeah.
He was Al Capone in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman as well.
Wow.
Which, spoilers, Al Capone will be in a future episode of Timecop. But
Really?
That's not him, yep. Prophet of Evil, the Ervil LeBaron. The Ervil LeBaron story, Daniel Danfields. That was a TV movie. Oh, The Rub Down, Harry Orwitz. This looks like a Skinamax film.
With a name like that?
Oh, man. Here, well, now I have to. A rich man offers his monsieur, a former baseball player who with damaged knees, $50,000 to have an affair with his wife, so she'll be in violation of their prenuptial agreement and he can divorce her without losing his fortune. The monsieur agrees, although he is already having an affair with the wife, and they together work out a way to set up her husband in order that she does get this fortune. But when the client is murdered and the real wife shows up, the monsieur has to clear his own name, and as he begins to piece together evidence, he realizes that he's been played by yet another man who still holds a grudge from years before. Well, that just
sounds
spoiled the
amazing,
movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's got twists and navel humping left and
I
right.
know, man. The President's Child, Elliot McSwain.
Does he play the president?
Oh, I hope so. He was also in The Preppy Murder.
Holy
and
shit.
Time Stalkers. He was in Time
Holy
Stalkers as
shit.
well. Wow.
I'm glad we looked.
Seriously, man.
We have to watch Time Stalkers.
I know. That is so crazy. I cannot wait to watch Time Stalkers now. Oh, another one. From Here to Eternity, Sergeant Milt Warden. The cover makes it looks like it's Skinamax, but that was a TV miniseries. The Dark as Roy Warner and Steve Dupre. That looks pretty sweet. Red Alert, Frank Brolin. The Bad News Bears and Breaking Training as Mike Leake. Marathon Man as Janeway. Oh, yeah, dude. He's got a nice... Hawaii Five-0, the original, as Fallon for one episode. Gunsmoke. That's Moss Stratton.
Damn.
Wow. While it was still going on. Wasn't like Gunsmoke one of the longest running television shows for a while there?
I'm assuming it was on for a long ass time.
Man, he's got a lot. And we'll leave it at that. I think that's it. I think that'll be the last time we do that for some time until Jeff goes, what about this guy?
What about the guy who robbed the diamond place?
Do you want me to really look at the guy who robbed the diamond place?
Yes, the young and the old one, please.
Okay. The young with Damon Orselli is Christian Bacher, and the older one is Robert Gentili.
Huh.
And Christian Bacher was in The Collector as Stuart Sanderson, The Collector, the TV series. Stargate SG-1 as Dr. Levant.
Man.
Stargate Atlantis as Terrell. The Fog.
Was this
as
like in their
Founding
contract?
Father.
Like if this series doesn't pick up, they'll end up being in a future Stargate
Seriously,
series?
man. Seriously. Masters of Horror. He's got a few credits to his name. Into the West. Bloody Bill Anderson. Okay. And the older one, he doesn't have an IMDb photo, so who knows. He was in Murder 1, the TV series, Too Fast, Too Young as Gypsy Joe, Flashfire Sid Lyman, Civil Wars, They Came from Outer Space as casino manager, Wings as the doorman, Father Dowling Mysteries as Fontaine, and Matlock.
Yes.
It was Frankie Lance. So there you have it. You asked, you got it. We all know that's what you guys really wanted to.
Yep. We could just end the episode now.
Yep, we're done. The director for this episode was David Grossman. Writers were Mark Verheiden and Mark Verheiden and others.
Wow, two people with the same... one's from the past.
Yeah, one from... Yep, exactly. Old and young Mark Verheiden. Okay,
then they accidentally touched.
We're in 1977, New York City, Sunday, June 16th. We open up at some building. A guy comes in and sets off a weird bomb to knock off a security guard, which they never explained it because those looked really futuristic.
I know. I thought that, maybe he was armed from people from the future, but...
Me too, but that was never the case.
No, there were these weird metal cylinders that looked like pistons or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And the dude's just staring at them.
It was a flashbang grenade, basically. Yeah. He's taking diamonds, and we thought he killed the security guard, but he just kind of knocked him loopy for a little bit. The security guard presses the alarm button. Cop shows up. It's a detective requesting backup. The robber starts shooting. The burglar starts shooting. Detective hits the guy in the leg. They take him away, but something else happened. They couldn't find the diamonds.
Another weird thing about it, he said there was no thermal detectors or something like that when he was robbing the place. But those didn't exist in the 1970s.
I was going to say, I didn't think those existed back then, but who knows?
I guess that was just something that got left in the script or
maybe
something that didn't make, who knows.
So we see Logan and Claire talking about working late. Then we get a read. I don't know what I meant by that.
They just stop and start reading for a while.
Yeah,
they both sit down and read.
The rest of the whole film, whole episode.
It's very avant-garde.
Kurt Fuller gets up and he's like, hey, you interrupted my sleep. And Logan says, I'm sorry we interrupted your beauty sleep, which, by the way, isn't helping. Ouch. Man, got him. We see that the diamonds went missing. The cop on the case is still a cop. And they said basically he had 3 years from retirement.
3 months.
3 months. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thanks. They tell the cop they think the guy went back in time to get the diamonds. He just got out of jail. Langdon is the cop I'm referring to. He says if you really want his help, you got to take him back as well. And Claire is kind of like, oh, shouldn't we at least do a side profile on this guy before we take him out? No, he's a cop. He's okay. No cops are ever dirty.
Especially ones that had their heyday in the 70s.
Yep, exactly. In which we get the line that we love when Logan tells Langdon, same matter cannot occupy same space. He tells him, if you see your former self, don't touch yourself.
And he says, I'll try to suppress the urge to give my past self a high five or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, really gets all philosophical and asks, he's like, is it gay if I mess with myself?
Which they do end up doing for half the episode.
It was really weird.
It's a lot of place.
A lot of black bars because it was on public television. They travel back in time and stumble upon the village people, in which Logan gives them their name.
Yep.
Logan tries to get info out of the hot dog vendor, but the old guy has to teach him a lesson and sort of roughs up the guy. He's like, this is the 70s. This is how you do it.
Yeah, he threatened him with brass knuckles.
Yeah, man. He pulled out the knuckle dusters. Exactly. We see Langdon finds the old criminal. Logan jumps down and takes him out. Langdon smashes the criminal in the face, and we see that he is dirty. He's a dirty cop. Oh, no.
Yep.
He pulls the gun on Logan. He says he wants to change things in his old life. Langdon tells Logan to put on his jumper. He cuffs Logan to a column and takes a look at the weapons the criminal brought with him. Langdon takes off. The car comes back, and the cops find the criminal in it. Logan finds a gun under the dumpster that he knocked away from the criminal. He grabs it up with his feet.
Yeah, this is so dangerous looking. Because he's scooting it with his boot.
Yep.
And then he picks it up and has it with a nail to pull the trigger with his hands really close up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's this future explosion gun.
Yeah, and he's like, I hope this works. And I was like, well, it will either way.
Yeah, your hands will be free.
You might not have any hands, but,
Hands free or free of hands.
It's just yes. It's just so nice that a nail is sticking out of this column that he is...
this weird wooden beam that he was stuck to.
Yeah. So he's successful. He still has hands after this. Logan shows up at the young detective's house, and he's trying to basically kind of talk with him and warn him in a weird way.
The most bizarre strategy ever. He goes to recruit his past self
to
stop his future self.
Yep.
I really was confused by that.
Yeah.
The past and future selves did have a strong resemblance to each other.
Yeah, they did a good job on that, too.
Like, I was like, is he just an old person makeup? Or no, it's just two people that looked a lot alike.
Yeah, man, they did a good job. The eyes, especially the eye color.
Yeah, and
that's really hard because they both had really blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. They had similar voices, too.
Yeah, it wasn't like they, like, if they did, I was like, wow, I'm surprised. But it's not like they put fake contacts in on one of them, you know? It was almost like legitimate. Kind of crazy.
It's actually his kid.
That'd be funny if it was.
Would be.
The wife is having second thoughts on the detective always being gone, doing stuff, and that's kind of like foreshadow why he wanted to go in the past anyway to fix things.
They kind of like hinted at it when they're like, he's like, oh, I saw your wedding ring, you know. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. When he was, yeah. He gets a call about the disappearing diamonds. He makes a line to Logan when he pulls out his gun, and he's like, if that's department issued, then I'm John Travolta. Yeah. Langdon is using a weapon to try to open up the back of this like security armed truck. And it's not working very well at all.
No, you
he might as well have just used like an acetylene torch or something.
Seriously, man. We see that they almost bump into each other.
Yeah.
He's about to touch himself before Logan interferes.
Yeah, it was weird because like he was just kind of slowly backing his hand away. Like, don't do that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You think you'd recoil in horror?
I know, exactly. I'd be like, whoa, bud.
Yeah.
You know. We get another line, same matter cannot occupy same space. And then he gets a scar on his face. We got a little bit of the computer-generated scarring. That was kind of cool. Old Langdon takes another cop's car, and we find out that Langdon's life basically went to crap after that diamond moment.
Yep.
Old Langdon comes in, grabs the wife, holds her hostage. You are not my husband. You're right. You blew me off 30 years ago. And we go back to the beginning of the episode with the criminal there. Langdon grabs the security guy's hand before he presses that button to sound the alarm. We find out that the diamonds were put in the cements that whole time because they were
which is actually pretty clever.
Yeah, it was, man. They were doing reconstruction there. Logan comes in. Langdon comes behind him. Forgot that at that time, before, I forgot to mention, Langdon tased the young criminal who got up while they were all talking to each other back and forth, and he starts shooting. Logan throws the diamonds in the air at him. He's like, give me the diamonds. He's like, okay, here, catch.
Glitter bombed him.
Yep, glitter bombed him big time with diamonds. It's the most expensive glitter bomb ever.
Yes.
Langdon takes a shot at the criminal's leg. Once again, kind of matches up with the beginning. Old Langdon a shot. He gives Logan his watch, tells his lady he never stopped loving her, and dies and disappears. And they go, is this our future? And Logan tells him, just one of many.
Yep. Time is fluid.
Yep. Logan comes back. Langdon finds the diamonds, and he still has his wife and the little paper. And then Logan and Claire leave to go get some food, and that's then.
Yep.
Like, boy, I'm hungry, but he's in that leisure suit still.
Yes.
And who knew that the Mac, the guy's making fun of him for the dress, he'll be wearing that same leisure suit later on in that 70s show.
Wow. Well, it's almost as if they knew somehow.
Timecop.
It all ties together.
So yeah, that's it, man. That's the end of that episode. And there is no Digi-Knows, no goofs, no trivia, no quotes. So that's it. How'd you like that episode, man?
I've seen the first 3 episodes. This one was my favorite of the 3.
Yeah, me too. I would agree with you.
I enjoyed the acting of the old Langdon and the young Langdon. I enjoyed the 70s style. It reminded me of an episode of Kojak or something where they're doing gritty police work.
Yeah, man.
I always loved like 70s cop shows. Like Kojak is one of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah, that's sweet, dude.
Love Telly Savalas. So I enjoyed that, and like them using snubbies and the knuckle duster.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that was really cool. It done very well, I thought, for a time traveling show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really liked it. I liked that they stayed closer to the 70s, because even in like time traveling shows, it was kind of like, hey, that's a little bit still too early for us to do time travel. It's like, let's go back even further, Usually, we'll see it in the series, they're like, oh, the 20s, the 40s, and 70s isn't one that they really touch upon. So
no, not very often.
Really happy to see that. It was nice, it was fun, and it kept a lot of those 70s tropes that you saw in like cop films and cop TV series, and made it Made it a very enjoyable watch. And really liked it.
And even the actual mystery involving what happened to the diamonds was intriguing and
yeah, man,
not hokey. I wouldn't have thought of that either.
I wouldn't have thought of the cement mixer thing, man. Definitely smart. Definitely cool that happened. So yeah, awesome. Well, what do you guys think? Take a watch of it if you haven't already. This series so far it's been pretty interesting. I've really been enjoying watching it. So.
I would say it's in the top 5 TV shows involving time travel and setting right that's been wrong through time travel.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of those. I mean, there's like Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap's the biggest one that I think
Time
of.
Tracks, that was another one.
I didn't realize how many episodes in like Quantum Leap there were until I went to like Best Buy when they were coming out on DVD, and I was like,
did he ever make it home, like to his own time? Or did he just get stuck in a frog or something? Maybe it was like in like the
last seasons or something. He was like actually gone, home. And they were like, "Oh, hey, we're still going to continue the show." No, I can't remember.
Or does it just tie into like Star Trek Enterprise, where he just ends up stuck?
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Yeah. We'll see. I wouldn't mind actually, if there wasn't so many seasons and it wasn't so costly. I would probably watch Quantum Leap from beginning to end.
Yeah, like Scott Bakula. So, okay, loved him in Lord of Illusions.
Oh yeah, man.
That was a big departure for
her. Oh, yeah. All right, that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all of you. Patreon.com/podbros if you want to give us little donations our way to help us out with our studio costs and whatnot.
And our own time machine that we're building.
I know. So far, we've been using these H.G. Wells off this illustration book from a prostitute. So far, it's not really working, though.
We'll keep at it.
Yeah, we got these instructions off of Amazon.
Yes. We're going to hire an actual prostitute to help us with this. So.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking of.
That's the reason we're hiring the prostitute.
That's it. That's exactly it. We can't do it off Craigslist anymore, unfortunately, but,
They just don't take time travel seriously.
No, not at all. Seriously, even though they keep banning us from joining. But anyway, that's it. I am John.
And I am Jeff.
And you have been listening to another episode of the John Pod Van Dam Cast. Now let's go beat up some people with knuckle dusters. Where's the closest hot dog vendor?